The effects of alcohol. This video includes different dangerous scenarios involving alcohol.
While watching this video, please remember to consume alcohol appropriately and responsibly.
Disclaimer!
Real alcohol was used in the filming of this video.
Although parental consent was given to use it, and none of it was consumed. Chapter 1. Risk-taking behavior, environmental effects, addiction, and peer pressure.
Hey Lily, look at all this alcohol my parents gave me. You ready to start drinking?
Wait! Parents that are lax with their children give their children alcohol when they are more susceptible to having alcohol disorders later in life.
I don't know about that. When did you start drinking? When I was about 13. Have you not drinking anything before? No, aren't you supposed to start drinking? I mean...
No! Fun fact, in 1965, the average drinking age was 17 and a half years old, and now it is 14 years old.
Wait, so you've seriously never drinking before? No. But like, everyone does it. Like, take a look at like, all the music videos and everything. Like, if artists do it, it really can't be that bad.
Nowadays, children are more vulnerable to the media and their friends, and just by the click of a button, they have access to alcohol.
Well, I think it's time for you to take your first drink.
Fun fact, 4,750 young people will take their first sip between the ages of 12 and 20 every day.
See, Lily, what's the worst thing that could happen? I mean, it's so much fun. What can be so bad about it?
Well, actually, there are a lot of things that are bad about drinking when you're underage. Teenagers have an undeveloped frontal cortex, which means that they have trouble seeing ahead and understanding the consequences of their actions. Teenagers feel invincible because they have an undeveloped frontal cortex. They cannot logically interpret whether or not a situation is dangerous, whereas adults can. They get more of a sense of reward, so after taking their first sip, they want to do it over and over and over again. Sensation seeking is correlated with puberty. They have a harder time exerting cognitive control over dangerous situations, such as drinking alcohol. Whereas adults are better about learning from their mistakes because they have a developed cingulate cortex, teenagers' cingulate cortex is not fully developed yet. Gratification is at the heart of an adolescent's impulsivity. Teenagers have synaptic plasticity, which means that once they have alcohol, they have this reward circuit going on in their brain, so more synapses are formed and dopamine is released, which causes them to want to have more and more alcohol, which leads to a highly addictive cycle. Teenagers do not have the frontal lobe connectivity to send inhibiting messages to reward centers. Also, another fun fact, 40% of people who start drinking before the age of 13 will have alcohol abuse problems when they are adults.
Chapter 2, Drunk Driving. Whoa, Sophia, where are you going?
I'm going for a drive. I heard there's a sick party down the street. It's gonna get lit.
Woo! You can't do that, you just had like a bottle of rum.
Dude, get off my back. People do this all the time and they're fine. Chill out.
No, they are not fine. People that drink are 11 times more likely to die in an accident if you have alcohol in your blood when you're going into the car. Motor vehicle accidents are the leading cause of death in teenagers. When you have 0.05 blood alcohol concentration in your blood, your frontal lobe is affected, which causes you to have impaired judgment and reasoning. When you have 0.1 or 2.15, your midbrain, it starts to go back to your midbrain, and your midbrain's affected, which impairs your vision, your speech, and your muscle coordination. After that, it moves towards your pons and your medulla oblongata, where your respiratory system and cardiac systems start to become affected. So, if you had a whole bottle of rum, that's going to be a recipe for disaster.
Chapter 3, Binge Drinking, Blacking Out, and Passing Out. It's important to note that blacking out, you are conscious, but there's just a blip in your memory, whereas if you pass out, you're totally unconscious.
Oh, gee, Lily, wake up. Wake up. Don't die on me. You cannot be dying on me. This cannot happen.
Oh my god. What happened? What's going on? I don't remember anything.
Lily, how much did you have to drink?
Like 7 shots? I don't know.
Oh my god, did you eat anything?
I had a lollipop earlier today. This is not good news. For men, if you have more than 5 drinks in 2 hours, or for women, if you have more than 4 drinks in 2 hours, it is considered binge drinking. People tend to black out at a blood alcohol concentration of 0.14 to 0.17.
Lily, what are all these bruises? I think I remember you getting into a brawl last night.
Did I? I don't remember anything.
What's the last thing you remember?
I don't know, you handed me like this flaming drink and it was flaming. Oh my god, I feel so sick.
Here, I know what can help.
No! No more alcohol. Alcohol blocks the glutamate receptors that are key for building new synapses. Glutamate receptors are also in charge of turning short-term into long-term memories, which is why people black out and then can't remember anything afterwards. Binge drinkers are also at higher risk for accidents, violence, and unprotected sex, which could explain why she got into a brawl and then later doesn't remember anything.
Chapter 4: Short and Long-Term Memory Loss.
What is 2 times 2?
7.
No, it's not. It's definitely 4.
You're wrong.
I am shocked. This is a blatant example of poor memory retention, which shows how intense levels of drinking in a short amount of time kills off neurons in your hippocampus, which prevents you from being able to produce new neurons. This also means that there will be less stem cells in the hippocampus as well. Okay, time for test number 2. So, I'm going to tell you a little fun fact about life. So remember this, when hippos are upset, their sweat turns red. Okay, so what color does their sweat turn?
Yellow.
You definitely just said red. This is another prime example of how alcohol blocks part of the hippocampus that allows short-term memory to be turned into long-term. This worsens people's ability to take tests and spew out data. Also, for long-term memory, this is an example of short-term memory, but the corpus callosum, which connects 2 parts of the brain, becomes damaged with extensive alcohol abuse, which causes people to have especially impaired visual spatial functions. They forget where they're going many times, they blank out on math problems, they forget how to play sports, and especially for guys, this damage to the frontal lobes worsens their ability to remain focused when something is slightly boring.
Chapter 5: More info and conclusion.
It's
time to get serious about this issue.
5,000 people under the age of 21 die from alcohol every year in the USA.
Neurotransmitter GABA, which inhibits synaptic firing, is enhanced by alcohol.
In conclusion, alcohol is detrimental to your brain no matter how old you are. It can lead to many physical and mental issues and can even result in death if not consumed responsibly.
Thank you.